this is Angela with Recrea Health and Wellness. Hello, everybody. I am a nurse practitioner. I have a clinic in Medina, Ohio. I prefer Propel because it tastes good. It doesn't have that artificial flavor to it. I get the little packets, and actually, I just filled my water up with it. So that's what this is. So I will get the little packets. My favorite's black cherry. And actually, and I can't see the name of places, but they have one on TikTok called 10X. They also have one that's called Ultima. And the reason I like that, and I am at home today, I'm not at the office, but the reason I like that one is because it's low sodium. Because the liquid IV has 550 milligrams of sodium. So you want to be very, very careful, because when you go with the higher sodium ones, they make you retain fluid. So I've actually seen this in my patients. We have one of those cool scales at my office, and it will monitor, fluid retention, the three little F word we can't talk, percentage, mass, muscle mass. It actually does all of the different, it gives us like 20 different values. So we have seen people that have had fluid retention from the different electrolytes that they drink. And so I started asking all of my patients, what electrolytes are you drinking? Because I was pushing electrolytes. And a couple of them were drinking the liquid IV. And I actually had tried them, and I'm like, oh my gosh, these are salty. So I was like, these are ridiculous. And I was just, don't drink liquid IV. Unless you are going out and you are just, profusely sweating, running marathons, things like that, then yes, liquid IV is fine. But if you are just an everyday average Joe like myself, you do not need that amount of sodium. So do not drink liquid IV, or anything about 220 sodium is fine. But if you go above that 220, you really don't need it. So just look at the packets, and then that's how you figure that out. I don't want to lose my hair. What is the best hair stuff? Okay. So the best thing to do to prevent the hair loss is get your protein. Protein. So women need, and so hair and muscle go together. And we can't see the muscle loss unless you have one of the cool scales. I recommend everybody get one of the scales that tell you how much muscle mass you have, because muscle and hair go together. So we can visibly see the hair because we look at it. We look in the mirror every day. So what we need to do is we need to worry about the hair because we see it, but we also need to worry about our muscle. And you want a very slow, steady, consistent L. You don't want to have a quick L. So you want very slow, steady, consistent. So we visibly are seeing the hair, but we're not seeing the muscle. So what we need to do is our protein. But not just protein, we also need our complex carbs. I just want to throw that out there because I think a lot of people are hearing protein. So people are thinking, I'm going to do keto, or I'm going to do the carnivore diet. Don't do that, because you need your complex carbs for energy. So you have to get the complex carbs as well. So what I teach is very simple. Simple. So women need about 100 grams to 120 grams of protein a day. So what you're going to do is you need to find out how much muscle you have. So the complex way to do this is if you figure out how much muscle mass you have. So I have about 108 pounds of muscle. So I try to get 100 to 110 grams of protein a day. So if you figure out how much pounds of muscle you have, that's how many grams of protein you need a day. So I just tell people 100 to 110 pounds of grams of protein a day. For women, 110 or 120. Guys need about 120 to 150. So that is the typical grams of protein a day. That will prevent your hair loss and your muscle mass. So then the other thing is I highly recommend a really good collagen. because collagen is going to help you prevent that hair loss as well as your muscle mass. A good collagen is going to have MSM in it, CoQ10 in it. It's going to have a lot of those ingredients that you need to prevent the hair loss, the muscle mass, and it's going to help with the skin tone. It's going to help you prevent and have that saggy skin. We used to hear about the O face. I can't say the words because I can get in trouble, guys, but a good collagen, a good amount of protein is going to prevent a lot of those things. I have lost 104. So it is really important that you have that good protein. You get a good amount of protein, drink it. If you're not sure, make sure you drink it. Is there a good hair supplement that has all of that in it? No, I haven't found one yet. So I do recommend that you get a good protein. I put my collagen in my protein drink in the morning. I've already had it. So I make my protein in the morning because I haven't found a protein drink that I really like. So I kind of mix it all up. I do a lot of teaching and educating. I live this with you guys. I am on these with you. I've been on them for 4.5 years. I've been prescribing them for 4.5 years. I honestly have learned how to do a lot of this just by my patients, just by asking a lot of questions. You guys asking me a lot of questions. If I don't know the answers, then I will find out, I really will. So it is really important that you get your protein, drink it, eat it. You don't want to get it all from one source. You want to add in a bunch of different sources. I like the collagen. I like Nutrafol collagen. I've been on it for probably about 2 years now. My hair is naturally thin. I haven't lost any more hair. And I do grow hair. My hair is growing fine. My nails grow like crazy. You're supposed to be able to go 3 weeks to get your nails done. I make it like 2.5, which is maybe 2. I'm like, man, this sucks. I got to pay this to get my nails done, but whatever. And then the other thing is, if you notice that you start losing hair or before then, you could take Nutrafol hair vitamin. I do have a really good hair vitamin. It's actually hair, beauty, and energy in my TikTok shop. And I really, really like it. And I've actually been on it for a while, and it has like 41 ingredients in it. And it's a really good vitamin, and I really do like it. So I really do recommend it. The Nutrafol collagen that I take is a powder, and I put it in my protein shake in the morning. And I do Herbalife because I can't do whey. I have not been able to find a non-whey protein that I like. So I like Herbalife, and I just really like it. It's one of the ones that I've found that tastes good and it doesn't mess up my stomach. And I put it in my collagen, or I put it in my shake with my collagen every morning, and it works great. The W pill that today, my daughter actually is one of my guinea pigs, and she started it. And I have heard from the pharmacy that I work with on the W pill. Now there's 2 versions. There's the actual name brand version, and there's the compound version. The compound version comes with naltrexone in it, which is a little bit more effective from what I've heard. And it's because the naltrexone is the outside coating, and naltrexone helps control the thoughts a little bit better. But it also is tolerated in your stomach a little bit better. But what happens the first 3 months of both of them, you're not supposed to have a whole lot of L. And what happens is it's kind of like your titration up, but you still need to change your lifestyle. So what I mean by that is add in your protein. Make sure you're hitting your protein goals. No simple carbs. Try to eliminate as much of those as possible. And make sure you're getting your complex carbs. So simple carbs are anything that is processed white. So white sugar, flour, pasta, rice. Cut those out of your life if you can. That is everybody. Because when you're on any of these GLPs, what happens is, or what should happen, but it doesn't always happen, They can make you have indigestion, belching, nausea. They can just make you feel bad. And you shouldn't want them in your life anyways, because they put us in the predicament that we're in. Plus they spike your blood sugars. They just make you, they just aren't good for us. So what you want is your complex carbs. Complex carbs are things that are naturally in the earth. So what we want is those, and we want about 25% of our diet to be the complex carbs. Plus they give us our energy, which is good. So a lot of times when you feel tired and fatigued and, you're just blah, that's when you need your complex carbs. Or, you're lacking a nutritional something. That is when the complex carbs come in. So you need to make sure that you're getting your protein. You need to make sure that you're getting your complex carbs. So that is really, really important. So try to make sure that you're getting your protein. Women, 100 to 120 grams a day. Guys, 120 to 150. And make sure you're getting your complex carbs from the earth. Okay. I try to keep things super, super simple. You do need to make sure that you're getting some kind of exercise as well. So working out, just a simple exercise, actually gives you energy as well. So it's just something that's fantastic that we should be doing. But protein and complex carbs are going to help you, and they're going to give you that energy that you need. No, I do not charge for advice. So what we do is, what I feel, my mission, my goal in life is to just give you guys the advice that you need to be safe and be happy. Because I have found that when you're getting them online, when you're getting them from the gray market, when you are just getting them from these places that are inexpensive, you aren't able to get a hold of the providers. And that scares me it just scares me. I probably can't say the D word. It just scares me. So what I have done is I have made myself available to all of you out here in this amazing world that we live in, that you can get a hold of me, because I don't want you to not have a source of advice and a source of somebody to be able to come to when you are having issues or when you're having problems. Because if you don't have, when you don't have somebody that you can ask questions to, that's when you end up in the hospital. That's when you get sick. That's when bad things happen. So I want to make sure that you have a medical person that you can go to make sure that you aren't having issues. What kind of issues? First of all, let me answer this. Breastfeeding and GLPs, no, because we don't know if these transfer to the baby, and you don't want to decrease the appetite of the child or the infant. So no, you can't do that. Okay. Let's talk about the issues of what could happen. Okay, so what could happen when you're on a GLP? All right, the breakdown. The things that I can prevent: nausea, vomiting, constipation. I can prevent you from losing W too fast. I can prevent you from having diarrhea. I can prevent you from just general illnesses or sicknesses that you can get from these. Okay, that is my job. I can teach you how to do it right. I can give you the proper dosing. I can help you with all of those things. I can help you with everything that you need to know. Okay, what puts people in the hospital is not moving their bowels regular. So impactions, severe constipation. Impaction is, they haven't moved their bowels in, a while, like 3, 4, 5 days. And now the constipation is so severe, they have to go to the hospital and get the stool removed. Pancreatitis, rare, but it can happen. So that is an issue. Thyroid issues are extremely rare. Sorry. Thyroid medullary cancer has never actually happened in humans. It's only been in rats. But those are the things that you need an actual human And that is why I am here. Okay, so that is what's really important is when you buy them online, you don't talk to a human. And that is a lot of times what scares me. And that's why I'm here, is to make sure that you actually have somebody that can help you. Okay, see, here's a question that, isn't a big deal, but then it's a little, you're like, okay, what can I do? Okay, I pulled my GLP out of the fridge and fell asleep. Can I still use it? Absolutely, 100%. Most of the time, these can be out of the fridge for several days, not an issue. Ours can be out of the fridge for 21 days, not a problem. So I'm getting ready to go overseas, and I will be on a plane for, I think it's 19 hours. And I will be taking mine with me. My husband has decided that he's not going to inject. He wants to be off of it so that he can enjoy the food. He tends to overeat and likes to, throw up. I myself never go off of them because I never want to go back to where I was. So I will stay on them, and I will take mine with me. So I put mine in a toothbrush holder. I actually have a video on this on my page if you guys want to go watch. But I will put mine in a toothbrush holder. I will take it with me. I will put it in my bag, my checked bag. I've actually done it both, my carry-on and my checked bag. But I will put it in my checked bag. It will go in under the plane. And I will do my injection next week on Wednesday in Greece. And it will be out of the fridge the whole time, and it will be totally fine. So that's how I do that. All right. Somebody wanted me to go over complex carbs again. I have been on them for 4.5 years, and I will stay on them for absolutely ever, because I was a yo-yoer. I was up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, for 20 years. And I actually probably 30 years. And I don't want to go back to that person. Never. Never, 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 never. And I love that I'm not obsessed with food anymore. I love that that's just not something that I worry about. It's not anything that I even consider thinking about anymore. And I hate planning dinner. It is so hard to plan dinner for a family because I just don't think about food. And, you're thinking, oh my gosh, I got to think. When I would wake up, sometimes even the night before, I was planning out the whole day's routine, a meal plan. And then now it's like, oh no, what am I going to do? How am I going to figure this out? And I can't I hate it. It's so bad. But yeah. Okay. So somebody wanted me to go over what's complex carbs. Okay. Can you give complex carb ideas? So let me tell you what complex carbs are, and then I'm going to tell you what simple carbs are. Again, I keep this extremely simple. We have too much complex in our life, so I'm going to keep this extremely simple. I love providing simplicity, especially when it comes to what I give you guys. So let me tell you what I tell every single one of my patients, because it breaks it down and makes it simple. So when you start these, and if you haven't done this, I highly recommend that you do this, because it makes it simple for you in your life, because it provides you with a different way of looking at how to be on a GLP. Okay. What you have to do is these meds work 3 ways. So when you start, I want you to spend 30 days really concentrating on your brain telling you you're not hungry, you're not craving. So if you haven't spent that time listening to your brain telling you you're not hungry, you're not craving, I want you to spend 30 days not counting calories, but listening to your brain telling you you're not hungry, you're not craving. What I also want you to do for that 30 days is concentrate on getting your protein. Protein is essential when you are on this, or when you're doing any kind of program to cut down weight, okay? So the first 30 days, listening to the brain telling you you're not hungry, you're not you're not craving. and getting your protein. Protein is going to do so many things. One, it's going to help the cravings. Two, it's going to prevent the hair loss and the muscle loss. Three, it's going to help with the hunger. So what I need you to do is make sure, women, you're getting 100 to 120 grams of protein. Guys, 120 to 150 at a minimum. Drink it, eat it, get it from multiple sources. Okay? Then what I want you to do is listen to your stomach. Your stomach is going to start telling you you're not hungry as well. So do not eat to full, because if you eat to full, you're going to be extremely uncomfortable. If you overeat, you're going to probably throw up, which we don't want to do because it's miserable, okay? You should not be nauseous. If you are nauseous, you're overeating or you're eating the wrong thing or the meds aren't working right with you. Talk to your provider. People that get nauseous are normally nauseous to begin with. Like, you're somebody that typically will get nauseous easily, like me. I will tend to get nauseous very, very, very easily. So I tend to have Zofran with me a lot. Often, everywhere I go, usually I have Zofran. But I was a very nauseous person to begin with, so I tend to get nauseous easily. So those kind of people that go on a GLP will tend to be the ones that have a lot of nausea issues on it. So I always ask that when somebody is starting. Do you have nausea issues prior to starting? I will automatically prescribe them Zofran because they're very likely going to have it when they start these meds. If you don't have nausea issues before you start this, you're probably going to be fine. Okay. So complex carbs are naturally from the earth. Okay. So if you think of and you look at food, if it come from the earth, God put it there, basically. You're growing it from the dirt. It is a complex carb. So it come from the dirt or it come from a tree. That is a complex carb. Okay, does that make sense? So when you're looking at it, it's natural. It's from the earth. So the earth gave it to us. That is considered a complex carb. So what you want to do is that is okay to eat in moderation. 25% of your diet is from the earth. So that is going to be vegetables, roots, potatoes, whole grains, oats, those natural things. So 25% of your diet is from there. Now you want to concentrate more on the vegetables because those are usually low calorie. But if you want to throw in the whole grains, the oats, the roots, the potatoes, every now and then, those are okay. You don't want to have them every day. You don't want to have them constantly because those are going to be very starchy. They're going to be very high glycemic. Fruits especially are very high glycemic. So a lot of times the body can't tell the difference. So you want to concentrate more on the vegetables. Now, simple carbs. Simple carbs are made by man. In the States, we have a lot of artificial dyes in those. We have a lot of artificial crap in those. So those are, when you eat them, they're going to make you nauseous. Simple carbs are processed by man. So that is your white sugar, flour, pasta, rice. So you don't want to eat those. One, they're not good for us. Usually put us in that position in the first place. And they are going to make you sick. So they can make you have indigestion. Oh my gosh, these guys are ridiculous. Indigestion. They can give you nausea. GERD. They're terrible. Hey, it spices up the life, right? They can make you just feel horrible. They can even make you throw up. So a lot of times it's crazy because one time I was doing some house construction and I bought a big tub of licorice. I thought, you know what? I'm going to try that licorice. And instantly when it hit my mouth, I got indigestion. I was like, seriously? And then I went ahead and ate the whole thing anyways. And when I ate that, I was like miserable. So I was eating I ate some Tums. Well, you know what I did the next day? I was like, I'm going to try this again. You know, maybe it was just a fluke. Again, it did the same thing. So I was like, okay, I'm never eating licorice again. So simple carbs are processed by man to be white. And you just want to stay away from those because they put us in the predicament in the first place and they're just not good for us. So that is why you want to stay away from anything like that.